Hey everyone, Joe here, and I am starving, so I wanted to show you this really fun recipe I've done for years using leftover rice. Now, first of all, I am the worst at cooking rice, so when I do cook rice, I try and make a little extra. That way, if it doesn't work out, I can kind of use it up the next day. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite things. We used to use this catering all the time because crispy rice is just so extra delicious. So I have one cooking here so I can show you. I'm just gonna turn the heat down a little. How do I do this? Heat down, heat down, heat down. Okay, so I have a bowl of some sushi rice that I cooked up. Cook it in a slow steamer, whatever, however you cook it. You have to use some sweetened rice vinegar. And the reason is because that is how it's going to get nice and crisp on the outside. The sugar's sort of caramelized. So I'm gonna put on, just shot it across the kitchen. I'm gonna put on maybe a quarter cup for about 2 cups of rice. Let me just flip this guy over here. Oops. That one stuck. Doesn't usually stick. Hope that one stick. Okay, so the next thing is always have a cup of water with me. And the reason is because you need to keep your hands a little bit wet so that the rice doesn't just completely stick to your hands. And then you actually wanna squeeze this rice together, which is the opposite of what you always wanna do with rice. Squeeze it together, and that way it's gonna stick. Otherwise, if you try and put this in a pan without squeezing some of the rice together to develop the gluten in the rice, but also break some of it down and create like a little paste, you're gonna have a hard time. It's a bit messy, but trust me, it's worth it. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get some of this off my hands. So what I'm gonna do, now I've got my rice in there, I'm gonna take, kind of a hand-sized amount, 1 scoop, okay? Press it together into a ball. It should hold because now you kind of squeeze some of the rice, making some of the rice a bit of a paste. Okay, just so my hands don't stick here. I'm gonna make a little hockey puck. Okay, and it's nice to use leftover rice because it's a little bit drier the next day. And then I'm gonna put it right in the hot oil. And I'm just gonna keep doing that with all my rice. I'll probably get maybe 4 or 5, depends how big you make them or how thin you make them. I'm gonna get several out of here. All right, little kind of puck size. They look really nice. I'm pretty sure you can use sort of whatever rice you have. Just make sure you find a way to stick it together. And I also, sometimes if I need to, will use a food processor and just puree some of the rice a little bit, and it will act like a binder. Don't put anything else in, like flour or whatever. I mean, you're welcome to experiment. Little puck going in. Okay, that's good. Let me de-rice here. It's so messy. Okay, so they actually don't take that long to get really crispy. So let me see. This is one I put in earlier. This little guy. Oh, they get really nice and crispy rice on the outside. So I'm gonna put that in my bowl and flip these. Let's see, which one did I put in first? Oh yeah. So I'm just using vegetable oil in the pan. If you can see that. Just using some vegetable oil in the pan. Let me bring the pan up so you can see. Just vegetable oil. I'm gonna let them get really, really hot and crispy there. You're gonna have to watch the heat here. I kind of keep it fairly high because you are frying them. So I've got one little rice cake, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna serve this. So last night I made some salmon. My favorite way to cook salmon is in a 300-degree oven, lots of olive oil and some salt, and it comes out slow roasted, so it's really soft. So although I'm not serving raw salmon, and this is kind of a Japanese style dish, it's a really, really soft salmon. So what I'm gonna do is put it on top of my little rice cake. I also have some really nice cucumbers that I've chopped up. So those are going in. It's kind of like a more sophisticated poke bowl. I also have some really nice avocado on top. And then let me just show you a few of the little things I love to do to kind of take these dishes to being, let me just make sure these aren't burning. Look, little guys. This is actually probably better. I didn't use a non-stick pan, but that would probably be a great idea for these. So to take this to the next level, I love to get these in the Asian markets. You can find it in an Asian market. And I'm still covered in rice. They have lots of different flavors, seaweed and stuff. So I just love to give that a sprinkle all over. And I love this, I want to say it's togarashi, but I always say it wrong. And this is like a spicy powder. Also, it's so good. Just love that. And usually I will top this with a really nice mayo, spicy mayo, or a sesame dressing, something that I have on hand in the fridge, like a wafu style dressing. And this is so ridiculously delicious. Now, if it's me, I always put a little extra rice vinegar on top. And my favorite way to use up, oh, it's so crispy. Really, really crispy leftover rice with lots of fun stuff on top, making a sort of slightly more sophisticated poke bowl. Enjoy. So crispy. Enjoy. Crispy rice cakes. Follow along at Zoe. Too much vinegar. Follow along at Zoe4.com. Sign up for the newsletter in the link in the bio. And we'll see you soon. I cannot wait to eat this.